Hello. I'm going to be talking today about just trusting yourself, outgrowing the current life that you are living, and trusting yourself to move forward. And so I'm just waiting for people to join this live. Hi, everyone. So I want to start off this live by saying, in full transparency, that I now offer one-on-ones to help people, anybody, identify your income, your aligned income path. And basically what this is especially if you're in a job that is not fulfilling to you, identifying which of your passions, your skills, your talents, your knowledge, your expertise, your life experience, what you do and what you don't like, combining all of that and identifying. Oh, and also if you work one-on-one with me, we'll also take your resume, your professional resume, and add that up in there, and identify what your aligned income path is. Essentially, what you can do, so you don't have to be tied to a 9-to-5. I'm excited because my last live that I was just on TikTok, I helped a woman. Oh my gosh, she is a ex-Muslim hijab wearing woman. This is what she told me. That is an atheist, is a covert atheist, but is still afraid of coming out to her community. So she still wears her hijab. Very interesting. And is also she's a psychotherapist in training. She's currently a therapist, but training to be a psychotherapist. Psyche. I don't know, whichever one Dr. Orna is, psychotherapist, I think. And she was struggling right now making money in her business. She feels like, since she's in training, she's putting money out for her education. So that's one. Two, the clients that she has are not making her money. Like, basically she's accepting who she can get. And a lot of the people that she can get are literally they're not like aligned to her. She's just working with people who she can get. And so these people tend to be people who are living in survival mode. And it's not just they're emotionally in survival mode, but financially they're in survival mode. And so it kind of teeters down. Since they're in survival mode financially, it falls into her. And so she has a high turnover rate because of her clients. And so we work together on live to identify, all right, so what would your aligned income path look like? Who are the people, or how would you, doing what you do, embodying what you embody, who would be your ideal audience? Like, this is honestly, when I work with people to identify their aligned income path, it's usually people who don't know where they're going. And she was already kind of had an idea of where she was going, but we were able to clarify her path. We were able to build a picture for, all right, so who you are. And she's like right in the midst of her identity unraveling. She's right in the midst of, this major transformation. She had just told me that she just went out and celebrated her 28th birthday at a club last week and got drunk. And she was like, oh my gosh, like, it was a big thing, but she had such a good time. She is slowly like stepping into this identity of this ex-Muslim, this Muslim, deconstructing from this identity and this belonging of Muslimhood, and stepping into a psychotherapist who helps other women who's also in that space too, unraveling their identity around patriarchy, unraveling their identity around religion, unraveling their identity around belonging within the family and within a community, because she's in the midst of this. And ma'am, the clarity that she received on this TikTok live that I just came from. Man, beautiful, beautiful alignment, beautiful alignment. And so I want to use this live to open the door up for other women, people that are here that may want to experience or have an idea of where you are going, especially when you are feeling this deep kind of gnawing feeling deep inside. It's not loud or anything, or maybe it hasn't gotten loud yet, but there's this deep gnawing feeling within you that you're not fully happy. You're not fully fulfilled in what it is that you're doing. You just have a feeling that there's something more, there could be something more, but you don't even allow yourself to entertain that thought, because right now, shoot, this could come in for so many different people, right? This could be true within your relationship. It could be true within your job. It could be true within your family dynamics. It could be true within the environment, whatever environment you are in right now. There is something that is gnawing at you, saying like, there is something like, maybe you like it. It's okay. You love these people. You love this thing or whatever it gives you. It's stable. It's comfortable. It's familiar. But there's something about it that's just not 100%. But you have talked yourself into believing that this is normal, or this is what adult life is supposed to feel like. How many people do that? Like especially when it comes to work, like everybody's miserable. Everybody's like, it's a job. Like everybody don't like their job. Though everybody's not in love with their job, which granted, it's a job. Of course, you're not going to be in love with it, but you don't have to stay anywhere you don't love. But most of the times we talk ourselves into staying in places that we don't love because it satisfies a deep need. It satisfies this need for stability, this need for security, this need for money. Money is like the key to everything. And if you understand how our system is literally built on us buying into the idea that we need to have a job in order to hold on to stability, then you would understand why it's so hard to detach from this mindset. Let me give you an example. So for example, when it comes to me, I'm an amputee. I have one leg. For those that may not know, I got one leg. All right. I grew up knowing just how expensive a prosthetic leg is. All right, we're talking about $30,000. $30,000 up. And this is just for a basic leg, a leg that gets you from point A to point B. And I'm not talking about those little like them little C legs that you see in the Olympics, or the high tech legs with the ankle that moves into. I'm not talking about those. I'm talking about a little leg that gets you from point A to point B to the bathroom to work and back. Because that's all that insurance wants to cover for the regular folk. Okay? But people who have them legs from the Olympics and stuff like that, they get them sponsored. All right? Because they are representative. They're representatives. But people like me, we got to fight for health insurance to cover us. Okay? And because of that, I believed that I could not do what it is that my soul was calling me to do, which was to leave the States, to travel the world. Because what happens if my leg breaks? That was the worst thing that I could think of that would happen to me. That I would be traveling the world and my foot breaks, and then the most important thing that I need in order to do all the things that I want, my leg, walking, I wouldn't be able to do. And so that convinced me that I needed to have health insurance. And health insurance is one of the main ways that the American system keeps us trapped in this 9-to-5 job. Because what happens when medical bills are crazy expensive? If you don't have medical insurance, health insurance, you're stuck with a big bill that you can't pay. And you go into debt. You have debt collectors chasing you for money that you don't have. And it's a cycle, okay? So, they buy you into the 9-to-5 because it stabilizes you to believe that you need health insurance. Health insurance, you sign up for a 9-to-5. That's what I was doing. But it got to a point where I really just got tired. And sometimes, you get to a point where you can make two decisions, right? You have this feeling of this thing that you want to do, or that you're not really like completely on the path that you want to be on, or something is just not there in your life. But you ignore it, okay? You talk yourself out of it. You don't have the money. You're not good enough. You're not smart enough. What about the kids? What about this? You don't have enough money. Whatever. You talk yourself into staying and suffering longer. There's a point where when you recognize this, and you could either make a decision and just go the scary route, or you stay in the position that you are in. You suffer until you get to a breaking point where you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, and then you make a change. And when you get to that point when you make a change, literally going into the unknown feels better than staying where you're at. So, two different paths, right? Traditionally, I have always taken the path where I wait until I get sick and tired of being sick and tired of being sick and tired. Because it is what it is. But I got to that point. I had quit my job back in 2022. I haven't been back to my job because I was having panic attacks, and I was like, I could not fathom working and not trading my health and my mental health for this job. I could not fathom it anymore. So I quit my job back in 2022. And then about a year later, I decided to move abroad. Because many people know that I lived in South Korea for 5 years. Loved my time in South Korea. After South Korea, I had came back to America. After 5 years, I came back to America, still buying into this American dream. I need to finish my master's degree. I need to get a corporate job. I need to do this. Buying into this dream. And I came back and I did the American dream. And it took me one job in that system to be like, hell no. Hell no. So, after that, I knew I always wanted to go back living abroad. But this time when I was taking that leap moving abroad, I had no comfort of knowing I had a job on the other side. I just left. I had no knowing that I was going to be okay. What about my leg? What about my health insurance? I still went anyways. And you want to know what happened within that year that I had moved abroad to Thailand? The worst possible thing I thought of happened. My leg broke. As I was walking up a hill, I felt the mechanism in my foot break. And actually, I'm actually wearing the broken foot. I wear my broken foot like a sandal. Like how you wear sandals in the house. It's I don't wear it out in the day, like out in the street and stuff like that, but I don't know if you hear. Crunchy, crunchy, crunchy. The foot in there, crunchy. No, it broke. It snapped like that. I was like, oh my God. The worst possible thing that I thought of happened to me while living abroad. I knew it. I knew I shouldn't have done this. I knew, like, I don't have health insurance. Like, how the heck am I going to do this? I can't walk properly. It hurts when I'm walking. My gait is changing, blah, 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 blah. But then I found a prosthetist in Thailand. I was like, you know what? Let me just see what's up with this. Let me see what happens. And they're like, oh yeah, we could do that. I was like, for how much? Like, $1,500. I was like, I looked at the guy. I was like, wait, I don't have health insurance. I don't have health insurance in Thailand. He's like, yeah, $1,500. What? And this is, so then this, I got this, this is my new leg. See my gold leg? This is the leg I got made in Thailand. Sometimes you have to step into, sometimes you have to trust that feeling. This is what I'm coming down to. Sometimes you have to trust that feeling, that gnawing feeling that's saying, this is what I want. Even when it don't make sense. Even when you're still trying to figure out what will happen when if this happens? How will I stay safe? This is that trap. Because a lot of, and this is what I want you to understand clearly, is the way that we are built as a human being. Our nervous system is not designed to help us follow our dreams, follow our passion, to follow that nudge, that North Star. All what our nervous system is primed to do is to keep us safe. All right? Keep us protected. Keep us in the familiar. Keep us where there's predictability. Okay? And that sounds like when you're thinking about moving abroad, or you're thinking about leaving that job, or you're thinking about leaving that relationship, it sounds like, what if this goes wrong? But I like it here. It's not really that bad. But you know, what will people think? Like, it will hurt their feelings. They need this. Like, it's all the filtering that you go through to convince you to stay where you are. All right? My leg has been a block for a lot of my life. For most of my life. And this is why I talk about blocks and nervous system and stuff like that, because I have been there. I have lived through it. I've done that. You have to move in the direction that nudge inside is calling you towards. That is alignment. Alignment does not feel good. It's not going to feel like, oh yes. Like, I think a lot of people see me online and see me traveling the world and think that I'm just like, yes, I'm going to go here and I'm going to live here. And then I'm not like that. The transition from me going from Thailand to here to Brazil was a month-long grieving process for me. All right. I cried multiple times a week thinking about this change and the fear of, like, what if it's not safe? Like, and then the whole, like, gang thing happened out in the favelas. I was like, oh my God, like, it's so much more dangerous than Thailand. Oh my God, I'm gonna be home by myself. But sometimes you have to trust the feeling. Something was pulling me here. Something was interesting for me here. When I left Brazil the last time, I cried when I left. It's the only place I cried leaving. South Korea, when I left South Korea after 5 years, I didn't cry because I was leaving South Korea. I was crying because I was scared of what was coming. Because what was coming was blackness. It was blank. Real, I cried because I was going to miss this place. Yes, the nudge. And the nudge, when you feel the nudge, and when you think about the nudge and you feel that fear with the nudge, that connection, fear and that like little spark of excitement or curiosity, that combination is key. That means that growth is this way. It doesn't mean that there's danger going to happen. We are interpreting it as danger because our nervous system can't differentiate the difference. When your fear is combined with nudge or excitement or curiosity, that is a sign. That is your North Star. That is alignment. And when you move in that direction, you move closer and closer and closer to your most authentic self, your most aligned self. And this is what I was saying in my last live. Your purpose in life, and this is everybody across the board, your purpose in life is to move in alignment to that feeling every single time. It's not going to feel good. Moving in that direction comes with a lot of grief, but it also comes with a lot of expansion and growth. And it becomes with becoming more of who you really are, remembering who you really are. And as you move in alignment, more and more in alignment with that person, that version of yourself, you want to know what starts to happen? You start to become a beacon, a light for others. You give your embodiment of trusting yourself and moving in alignment with yourselves activates others to do the same in their life. That is what purpose is. It's not what you do. It's you being who you are and the impact of you being who you are and how that affects other people. For me, I'm comfortable being front facing on camera, sharing my life, because I know that I am a beacon. I'm a beacon for what's happening? I'm a beacon for whoever needs my medicine. There's something, everybody that's connected on this live, everybody who's going to watch this live afterwards, everybody who has followed me over the course of my journey, there's something about how I live my life and how I embody my life that activates something in you. And I'm honored to be that for people. All right, where am I going? Where am I going? Because I was preaching. And I know, living Tia, Lynn, that feeling, that I feel like there's a lot of people right in that in-between space where you feel this gnawing feeling because what's happening is you are outgrowing the life that once held you. It's either too comfortable, it's familiar, it's just not conducive to who you know you want to be. Could be the people are just not aligning to how it is that you want to feel or the community that you want to be around. Something about this environment is stunting you, and your soul is moving towards growth. And being in the middle of that void space is really uncomfortable, because going from where you were or who you were, and still not being quite who you are or you're becoming, that space holds a lot of grief, a lot of shedding, a lot of tears, a lot of pain, heartbreak, And when I say grief, it's not just about like who's leaving leaving your life, or what's leaving out of your life, but it's also like the imagined futures, who you thought you were going to be, who you envisioned yourself to be, who you wanted to become, the vision for your life. Like, I had a whole period where I was grieving the fact that I wasn't a married mother with a house and kids yet. That's grief. That's unrealized grief. Anyways, I have notes, so I want to make sure that I'm hitting on everything. But I'm happy that y'all here with me right now. I think the biggest shift towards my alignment, one of the biggest shifts towards my alignment, was quitting my job in 2022. And yes, I still don't have a job as of right now. Let me not scratch that. I don't plan to have a job. All right. I don't plan to be working for nobody moving forward. Let's get that straight. I have a realization. My brain just doesn't work that way. My brain just doesn't work with people that way. I can't be told what to do, but not in a bad way. Like I do well with direction. I do fine, but I thrive most when the vision comes through me. Like, every job that I've had, I've made their vision better. But what if I came to this realization, what if I just turn all that energy on what it is that I do, instead of like giving it and pouring it into this job that I'm like half in, half out, that can replace me at any time, that I'm not too crazy about, that is secure and stable. But what if I shifted my attention to focus on creating a business, or creating work, not a job, work, where I help other people. And so that started my journey towards identifying what my aligned income path was. And when I say aligned income path, that just means understanding who I am, what my strengths are, my skills, my certifications, professionally as well as non-professionally as well, my life experiences, my personal life experiences, the things that I've overcome, what I don't like to do in work, what drains me, what excites me, and compiling all of that together to create the perfect, I'm not going to say perfect, but it is a clear direction for how I can help people and make money from it, and therefore have time freedom, location freedom, yes. People ask me, Natalie, how do you live around the world? How do you support yourself? It's exactly this. I do what I am aligned to do. And I am working, like, I have created a tool that helps me, that all the things that I have learned along my way, along my path, on what has helped me create this aligned path of mine, I have compiled that into a tool for me to help you. And so, if you are in a job or a position where you want to feel free, you want to work in a space that is so fulfilling to you on a deep core level, this is what I help you identify. So, with the people that are here on this chat, I really want to work with one person and do some live coaching just to show you what this really entails. Because when you live in alignment for you, you're not meant to, I mean, some people are meant to have a 9 to 5, but this gnawing feeling, especially if it comes down to a job, or you're in a space where you're just not happy or not completely fulfilled, there is something better. You could be paid for being just who you are. And this is what I say when I mean I live for a living. I don't have a job, but who I am and how I show up online and how I help other people, I get to do, and I get to wake up excited to do what I do. So I never feel like I'm working. I don't feel drained after I'm having these interactions with people, because I love what I do. I love interacting with people. This comes naturally to me. I'm utilizing my skills and my strengths and my experiences. You can do the same thing. Sometimes what it takes is to see the vision of where you can go in order for you to make it a reality. But so many people, and I'll say a lot, I would say really in the United States right now, especially in the current climate of what's going on right now, are in survival mode. And when you're in survival mode, your vision gets cut off. You don't have the capacity to see outside. All you can see is your day to day and getting from point A to point B and surviving, making sure that you got, your bills are paid, making sure that the kids are cool, making sure that you got money in the bank, making sure that everybody is good. But when do you get to make sure you're good? When can you build something that gives you your time back to yourself? Because when was the last time you had a break? And I'm not talking about like a little 2-week vacation or a little weekend vacation. I'm talking about like 3 months or longer, just to yourself. If you're an adult right now working, that sounds unrealistic, right? Because our system and our society has conditioned us to believe that that's crazy, to have 3 months of you time. When was the last time that you had that much time to yourself? High school? For summer break? After senior year, you stop having breaks to yourself. You now have 2-week PTO be your norm. You deserve to live your life. You deserve to feel free, to have time freedom, financial freedom, location freedom, go wherever you want. If you decide, for example, I'll give you an insight in of my day today. I woke up at 10 a.m., sorry. I woke up at 10 a.m. today. Rolled out of bed, no alarm. It's Monday. I remember days when I would dream that I didn't have to wake up for work on Monday morning. Sundays used to be, oh my God, I would drag on Sundays. Now I live life and I'm like, what day is it? The weekends and the weekdays are the same to me. And this is not to brag or anything. This is to say I dreamt it and I became it. And you can too. It's not unrealistic. There's a lot of sounds happening outside. I forgot where I was going with this. But I like that there's 3 people still here. I see y'all. So, I woke up 10 a.m. There we go. Rolled out of bed. Actually, one of the first things that I do is I'll put on some kind of either a meditation or a affirmation. Like I'll listen to Abraham Hicks or Bashar or what's his name? I was listening to him this morning. Joe Dispenza. Listened to that for about 20 minutes. I woke up. I cleaned the house a bit because I just felt like, sometimes you need to clean the house so you can feel better, right? It's all about like following what feels good, because when you're in a space where you feel good, so much positivity could come. I really feel like if I didn't do what I did this morning and I didn't start my day the way that I started, I may not have been on this live. I may not have had the energy to come here on this live, but I started my day off pouring into myself and what it is that I needed. I created this beautiful, I'm gonna post it later, beautiful plate. Have y'all been seeing those sardine plates? Mwah. Delicious. And I sat with myself and I had a beautiful meal. And then I was like, all right, what message can I share to my community today? You know, I feel like going live. I feel like having live interaction with my people today. What is it that I could talk to them about? This is literally how my work day is. I get paid to do this. I come on, I show you, I talk to you, I share content, and you don't have to be a content creator to do this. This is just the path that I took, okay? I create content. I make people feel seen, motivated, inspired, valued, heard. And then people see that and they're like, Natalie, I want a little bit of that. I want whatever it is that you have in this, that you exude, that you embody. Can you help me? And I'm like, yes. You can sign up for my one-on-ones. That's exactly what it is. That's it. And then I have a one-on-one maybe once a week. And that is how I spend my time. Doing what it is that I love, helping people, seeing the light bulbs go off in their minds when they realize and they connect something. And yes, exquisite fiasco. Them sardine plates. My sardine plate was so heavy, I was surprised I ate the whole thing. So good. But I love being able to pour into myself. I had the time to do that because I have built a life around alignment.